Hello, how are you doing today? My name is Brian, and we're back together for a speed build of a big Victorian mansion with some kind of countryside twist to it. Here we see, in the beginning, as usual, the failed attempts, and this one was fairly interesting. It had some kind of colonial look to it, but oh, it's gone already. I'm sorry you didn't see more of it. I didn't want to spend too long showing the errors, the failed attempts. Here's another one with a modern look to it, where I tried to play with colors and make something a bit unique, but again, it wasn't really working out as I wanted, so hop, here it's gone. And now I'm deciding what to do, and I wondered if I wanted to go with something a little bit crazy, kind of like a big crooked house, like I did a small crooked house for the last video or so. But then I came up with, I went to look for some inspiration on some Google image, and I saw a nice picture of a big mansion. I'm not sure it was Victorian, with a big tower in the middle, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty, so I tried to go with that, and then I went like, alright, no, I'm not gonna do it, but I was gonna keep one thing from it, and it was a little rounded, something round that's coming out in the front. So I kept that slightly and I built around that, and that's what made the final result in the end. That wasn't a failed attempt, so that was cool. And now you can see me play with the fencing, and the fences are going to change, I don't know, maybe around the middle of the build, because I'm gonna change a lot of things as I progress on this build. I'm gonna change the colors, the windows, I mean just the colors of the wood really, because when I started I wanted to have this really nice mixture of green, white and brown to get a Victorian look with the white and a countryside, I'm not sure it's the right word, but whatever, some kind of rustic side to it, and the wood was gonna help me do that. But in the end it was too much brown and not enough white, so it was a bit ugly, simply just as that, and so I ended up changing a lot of it. Now for this video I'm wondering if I should talk about some philosophical shit again, because I'm not exactly proud of what I did for the last video. I think it was middly interesting, but I also think it was not structured enough to be interesting. I believe that the subjects I talked about are really complex ones, and that I shouldn't have talked about them so lightly and so unprepared. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry if you listened to them and if you disagreed with them, because, well, of course you can, and it wasn't... Well, I mean, I understand if you didn't like it, that's what I'm trying to say. So I'm wondering, because I do find the idea interesting to talk about some philosophical ideas during a build, because, you know, it's just something to talk about while the build is going on, and yeah, I just like those subjects. Quick notice on the video, now we see the roof, and the roof is gonna change pretty soon, I guess, but roof is gonna be nice in the end, so whatever. There is one person that told me that it was nice to have some philosophical stuff in the video, that I wanted more of a balance between ideas and talk about the build. So, I mean, I may try to do that. I also really wondered if I should write my text before talking in the video. But then I realized that my video is 30 minutes long, so I don't want to write a 30-minute long text that's really, really big. And I don't have the strength and the courage to do that. Okay, I'm sorry, I just had a little issue with my editing software, but everything's fine. So, I was saying I didn't have the strength to write a text to talk about some subjects. So I wonder, should I still try to talk about those topics and maybe just do some editing in the end and remove the worst parts, or just really don't care and try to be as natural as possible and hope it's gonna be interesting? Or should I just not talk about those subjects and just focus on the build? And I don't want to focus on the build because I'm not sure I can talk enough about the build for it to be interesting, and I also believe that it would be just too boring, plainly. I'd really like the experience to be interesting, so I'm gonna try. And I hope it's gonna be okay. And if you think that I shouldn't try and that I should do other stuff, try to let me know. I would appreciate it. Here's I'm gonna still talk about the build a little, because when I have some things to say, I'm gonna say it. And I like how that part turned out. The left side of the house with the angle it has. I did struggle with the roof a little, because you can't, as you're gonna see, you can't really put those two roofs next to each other. The game won't allow it, even with move objects, so I had no choice. I had to put some walls there to make it look not awful, and I don't really mind it, because I do believe that this is a better result than if I just tried to put some roof, so it's cool. Sometimes the game will help you, even if you think it won't. Even if you think it's working against you. And by the way, I'm having a little bug in this build that I tried to talk in the forums about it, but I got no response so far, and it's about the rounded roofs. Okay, so I'm sorry, my editing software is being really annoying. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to really do something about it, but whatever, I'm gonna try to focus on what I was saying, which is they had a problem with the roofs, and the round roofs are just showing inside rooms. And it's not just a room problem, because regular roofs, in a way, are not showing inside the room, and just the round roof. So I tried to reach out in the forums for help, but I got no response so far. It seems to only happen at a certain height of a room, because I tried to test the bug in a few different ways, and there is a certain height at which the bug would occur, and under that height it would not occur anymore. So I have no idea where it's from, and I can't really do anything. I can't do much against it. So the one of the top rooms is gonna be a little smaller than what it should be, because I'm hiding the roofs inside some furnitures. But anyway, the furniture, the interior of the house, is not going to be in this video. It's going to be in the next one, because I decided to split them. I'm not sure if I should really split them, because I feel like if I wanted as much people as I could to watch it, I wouldn't split it. But I don't want to make a video too long, and this one is already about half an hour, so it's pretty long. And the exterior is probably the most interesting part for most of you, and the interior is gonna be probably interesting for less. So if you want to see the interior, well, you'll have to wait for the second part to come up. And if you only want to see the exterior, then bravo, you're where you have to be. I do like the interior, how it turned out. It was really bright, really light. I'm not used to that kind of I don't know, of interior. I usually like dark interiors, but I don't know, I think it was alright, so you'll tell me about it if you see it. Now, about the back of the mansion, because that's what we're seeing right now. I like it. It really has that old school feel to it with the wall texture from Get Together. So I think it's cool. I like it. And here's the little oh, how do you call that in English? You know, the little room where you usually grow plants in, and I just end up putting a table and chairs in them for people to eat in the garden. And the whole mansion is gonna be, it's gonna be higher in the terrain. I'm gonna elevate it, and that little white room is gonna be surrounded with water, so it's gonna be real pretty. That's where I start to think about elevating it. Yeah, I also like the colors of the house. I mean, I'm not used to do greenhouses. Oh, that's that's what they're called. They are called greenhouse. Oh my god, the revelation, because my house is green. Oh, that's really funny. So anyway, I'm not used to do house in the green colors, and I think this one turned out really great. I was just, looking at what the game had to offer in terms of wood. The wood paper paint that I was trying on the walls, and I saw that green colors and tested it, and it was really pretty. So here we go. And now we're just going to do a little balcony, and it's really cute and pretty, like everything else in this build. What is the least favorite part of this build? Well, I guess it's the part with the roof showing inside the room, but otherwise, I think it has I think everything turned out pretty well. And so, about what I wanted to talk about in this video, about little small philosophical ideas. What I wanted to talk about, I mean, what I was struggling, because right now I'm studying a few stuff to get into university, and one of the things I'm studying is philosophy. So I wondered, should I talk about what I'm studying? Because I wouldn't have to prepare much, and I could talk, not a lot, but I could talk about what I'm studying. And for example, I could talk about Mill and his work on freedom. It's an interesting work, but I don't know if I really wanted to talk about that, because it's I guess it's a bit boring. Not that much, but a little bit. And I mean, it's not boring, but it wouldn't be that interesting, because to me what's interesting is subjects that are close to us, and freedom, of course, is fairly close to us. I mean, it was freedom in a really social way that he talked about, about how you should let people be free to do whatever they want, but not in a legal manner, really, more in a, like, I should be free to be gay if I want to be gay, and you should not give a fuck. And he gives a lot of arguments about why it's really good to not to let people free to do what they want, even if you think what they do is bad. So it's really interesting about that. But I mean, I guess I can talk about it since I started it, because it's interesting if you see it that way. And why does he think that you should let everyone be free to do things, even if you disagree with them? That's really what's interesting about it. It's that you should not... I mean, of course, he doesn't say that you should not try to convince someone that what he's doing is wrong if you think that what he's doing is wrong to them, if you think it's bringing them more bad things than good things in the end. But he also says that when you talk about something, if you're debating with someone, it's really important to be ready in your mind to be wrong in a way. You have to stay close to your ideas, and you have to defend them vividly, but you also have to be ready to give them up. You have to be open to change, because if you're not really debating, right? You're just trying to impose your views with someone, and it's not a debate anymore. So, and also, just you're not. I mean, you're probably not right about every subject in the world. You're probably wrong about a thing or two. So if you're never ready to give some of your ideas up, then you're never really gonna progress, and you're just gonna stay in your wrong ideas, and that's gonna be, I guess, bad. I don't know, but it's hard to do. So that's not the main point of his work. What he's saying is that when people are free to do what they want without social judgment, like you can be gay and you can do whatever work you want, and he wrote in a period of time where good manners were really, really, really important. I guess it was the 18th century, 19th century, and in England, and I don't know if you read Pride and Prejudice, but maybe you have, and this book really shows what it was like at the time in high society, what was expected of someone. Like if you're a man and if you're young and if you have a good work, well, it's expected of you that you should marry soon. You need to have a wife. And if you're a woman, you need to find a good and proper husband to marry, and you should marry within the limits of your range. Like if you should marry someone that has about as much money as you have, about the same social value as you have. And I don't know if that changed today, but Mill wanted to change some of that, all those social expectations that were just there for not a lot of reasons, that were just creating a lot of... Oh, come on! Okay, that were just... sorry, my computer had a problem, it's okay. They were just creating problems, regarding people's life. I mean, they were not exactly free to do whatever they wanted because everyone was expecting something of them, and that was really annoying to Mill. So he wanted to shake things a little and say, let people do whatever they want, so everyone can be more happy in the end. And what he used to say that everyone would be more happy is that he talked about geniuses and great personalities, people that make a difference in the world, people that change the world with their ideas and stuff like that. And he said that those people could only they could only appear if they were free to appear. If you keep putting pressure on people to behave a certain way and to be a certain way, then it's really harder for geniuses and big personalities to appear in a society. And he believes that geniuses are really important because they help discover new ideas, they help think about all the ideas and if we should keep them or not. And well, in the end, they are useful to everyone, even if you think that they are not. That's the smart way he used to, get his ideas going, that even if you disagree, well, you're wrong. I mean, it sounds wrong, and it maybe is. When I talk about this, I want to be careful because I'm not a specialist, of course, and I may say some wrong things. So the only important points are that I'm pretty sure are correct is that you should let everyone be as free as possible, and it's going to benefit everyone. Anyway, so that's about Mill, or that's about what I remember of it. I'm sure, I really hope there's not going to be a lot of... no, that's wrong. I hope there's going to be some Mill specialist in the comments that are going to say, no, you're wrong, this is what he said, this is what he meant, and blah blah blah. I mean, I hope I'm not wrong because I don't want to put some wrong ideas in your head about what someone said. But in a way, I hope I'm wrong because I like to learn new things and to, it keeps me not noble, but keeps me down to earth to be wrong. Not because I'm not used to be down to earth, I am a lot, but it's not bad to be wrong. We really I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna be able to talk, don't worry. I just have to search my words a little. Something I witnessed a lot in my experience about being wrong is that we don't like, as humans, being wrong. It feels bad, A lot of people prefer being in denial than being wrong, and I don't understand that. It's fine to be wrong. When you're wrong, you're learning something, and everyone is wrong at some point in their life, Even if you probably watched Game of Thrones, right? Game of Thrones is really nice to show that even the good people are doing some stupid shit sometimes, and it's okay, it happens. That's why we're humans. And so really, don't try to fight against being wrong. It's okay to be wrong, and you have to be wrong if you want to be right, In the last video we talked about learning skills, and that's all there is about learning, right? It's being wrong over and over again in order to be right in the end. If you think about building a house in The Sims, that's the way I build houses. I am wrong a lot of the time until I try to be right. But you have to be, you can try to be right in the first try. I talk about how some people manage to build everything right at their first attempt. I thought that they were managing to build everything correctly in the first try, but then I learned that that was not the case, and that they were just doing a lot of editing in their videos in order to only show the right result at the end. And they were often, cutting out the parts where they try different stuff. And that made me understand that it's not that easy. It's, again, I guess for most people, for a vast majority of people, you can't just make something up and it's right in the first try. So, as I'm trying to say, you can't be right always, and you have to be wrong to be right. And it's okay to be wrong. Everyone is wrong, and the best reaction you can have when you're wrong, to me at least, and I guess to a lot of people, is to accept that you're wrong. Nothing is more annoying when you know that someone is wrong, and when everyone knows that someone is wrong, that seeing them not accepting that they're wrong. So, you probably saw some people behave like that in your life. Someone being wrong and being in denial about it. So, I know it's hard, and I'm not saying that I am perfect about this. I struggle to accept that I'm wrong, but we have to try as much as we can to accept when we are wrong. And yeah, that's about it. I hope it's not too boring to listen to. I want to say tell me if it is, but if it is, you just left the video, so there's no point in asking that. If you didn't leave the video, please let me know. Do you want me to talk about the build? I guess I should. When I talk about those subjects, sometimes I just forget to watch my screen, and I just end up talking, and I'm trying to be careful about, oh, Brian, what are you saying? This is really... should be careful about that. But I don't mind too much saying shit, because, as I said, it's okay to be wrong. And I'm not here to try to be an intellectual superhero and talk to people like, oh, listen to me, look at how perfect my speeches are and how great the ideas I'm talking about are. No, I'm just here to... like I'm talking with friends, let's talk about our subjects and try to say what we have in our minds. And the point is not to be correct. The point is to develop about ideas and try to see how we feel about them. But about the build, now we are witnessing some cool spots where the water is around the greenhouse. And that's it, that's the word, the greenhouse. And I don't know, it may be a little weird, the waterfalls around the, you know, the walls, the foundations of the house. But I think it's cool, so whatever. I decided to let them. And the little ponds and all. I mean, you know, there is a way the water comes from. It's the waterfall. And I don't see where they come out. I don't know where they go. So that's what's a bit bothering my mind. But I guess it's okay because it's pretty. So whatever, you know, it's The Sims, it's not real life. And I guess in real life you could have some sort of evacuation system under the... not under the ground, but below the water or whatever, hidden somewhere. So I guess it could work in real life. Anyway, you see that white tree? I never thought I would use it because it always looked a bit wrong in my eyes. Like the willow tree and like some other pink tree that's in the game. They look a bit cheap to me. So I didn't think I would ever use it, but for a reason, that white tree looked really great there, so I just put it there, and I hope you like it there too. How much more time do we have? Not that much, do we? I have to zoom out of my little software. Wait a second. Alright, a few more minutes. I didn't talk about what I wanted to talk in the first place. You know, I ended up talking about meal and that was really boring. No, I guess it was okay. I hope it was okay. I wanted to talk about life and why I think life is absolutely beautiful and why I also believe that humans are some of the... I mean, probably the most beautiful thing regarding life. And I know a lot of people disagree with that. First of all, a lot of people think that life is shit. And second, a lot of people think that humans are shit and that, you know, it's very common to hear that animals are better than humans. So why do I disagree with that? Again, this is not going to be very well structured. It's going to be a bit messy, but I'm going to try to express my feelings towards that subject. I love life because it's just really rich. I'm amazed by how rich life is. You know, when I'm cooking and I'm just looking at all the ingredients I can have in this time of life, you know, in 2019, in a fairly rich country, I have access to a lot of food for not too much money, and I can make so much different meals out of it. And it's not too hard, and there is just so much to do, and everything is so different and great, and you know, you can have I mean, I'm not gonna talk too much about food, but you know, all this variety and all the different feelings you can have with food. I mean, it just blows my mind and it's so cool. So I love that. And when I look outside and I see trees and plants and the sky and water, maybe you're living close to a lake or close to the sea, and you know, nature is just so beautiful and so rich. There is so many different plants and trees and landscapes. It just feels so great, and the best part about it is that we're human and that we are able to not only witness it but be fairly lucid about it. I'm not sure if lucid is a common word in English, but you know, we are aware of all of it. We are not just some kind of insect in the ground, not really looking at what's around him and not really realizing everything that's around him, but you know, we're able to see all of it and to try to understand it, and to really be a part of this world I don't know, I'm not finding the correct words to talk about it, but there's just so much to life. I love it. And all the feelings you can have as a human, when you are interested in a boy or in a girl in a romantic manner, you just discover so many feelings inside you that make you want to live and make you want to experiment things. And I don't know, it feels just great. There is so much opportunity there for strong life moments, and it's great. So I love everything that life has to offer. Now, I'm not saying that our society is perfect. There's a lot of things that I disagree with in our society, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about life itself. And the fact that humans do bad shit is, to me, really important, and you could not have a great life without it. That's the contrast between Earth and paradise. When you think about Earth is the place where you have a bit of everything. You have assholes and you have good people. And paradise, heaven, is a place where you only have good. So what is the value of good if you only have good? The value is zero. There is no point in being good if all you can be is good. But if there's a bit of everything, then suddenly good has a meaning and has a value. Because, someone that has the choice between giving you a cigarette or not giving you one, it's not a nice subject, but whatever. And if that person gives you one, then that person is being nice and you're gonna like them. And you're gonna appreciate what they did. But if they don't have a choice to give you that cigarette, because they can only do good, that's just the way they are, then do you have to say thank you? I guess you say it because, it's the way you should behave, but it has no meaning. So that's why I think that humans, in a way, are perfect. They are not perfect because they are good. They are perfect because what they do has a lot of value to it. And bad people are annoying, but without bad people, we wouldn't be able to appreciate good people. So that's great. And I don't have much time left. So, and by the way, I like animals too. So, I hope all of this was interesting to you. I think it was a bit better. I think it was a bit more interesting than in my last video, but I'm not sure. So, I'm gonna try to edit all of it. I'm gonna try to make it good. Please let me know what you think about it. Bye bye. Kiss kiss. I love you all.